this exercise is to help relieve stress, especially around things that you have no control over or things that you have done everything you could around, and there is a feeling still, maybe a fight or flight energy or wanting to shut down, and just the need to be able to release to create more capacity and more room for like continuing on with your day, for continuing to fight for liberation, for continuing to build your business, whatever it is that you need at this time. So what we're going to do first is, if you haven't already, it should be in the instructions, but pull up a playlist that feels inspiring, that feels supportive, that feels, and maybe you can create this for yourself. I have a playlist specifically around that I'll link here around revolution, and it talks about the power of people and community. And so even in my business, that really grounds me and supports me. I also like to sometimes hear like indigenous flute playing. The beautiful chorus has a lot of amazing, very grounding songs that also speak about self-love and care. So I'll give some examples, but if you haven't already, pull up your playlist, and ideally you would want to be hearing the playlist in the background as you are listening to this guided exercise. So take a moment. If you need to pause here, but take a moment to put on your playlist now. Okay, so once that is in the background or it is in your earbuds, and I know it may be difficult because I don't know if you're hearing it from a phone or using earphones, if it's going to be able to do both. So if you can't do both, I would first listen to this, and I'm going to also have the steps. I first kind of listen to it and see like what you would do, and then I would go and play it. Or there's also going to be points where I ask you to pause because some people are going to need more time than others. So during that time, you can put your playlist back on. So it's up to you. So once you have your playlist going, or if you're going to wait to put it on until I tell you to pause, first I want you to just start with very slow movement. So swaying side to side, just like we're getting, or even like if that feels a lot, like just like moving your fingers, moving your toes, rolling your ankles around, stretching your head. Start with very slow movement. Stretching your spine a little bit, your hips. So just start with slow movement, however that looks like for you. And one of the things that like I'm intuitively doing, and I think a lot of us do this, is the swaying side to side is a calming mechanism. It is a way for you to relax, the bilateral stimulation, so engaging both the right and left side of your body. It signals to engage both the left and right side of the brain. So logical, emotional side, it helps it feel less activating, like the experience in general feel less activating or triggering or overwhelming. So as you're beginning to sway, as you're beginning to give your body some movement, slow movement, I want you to, if you want to close your eyes, keep them open. Oh, and also something that can be helpful if you haven't is surrounding yourself with comfort objects. So whether that be a picture of your kids, your family, wrapping yourself in your favorite blanket, putting on your favorite comforting smell, something that signals to your body, hey, we're safe enough. Like we are okay, we are comforted right now, even as we are moving through really hard emotions or beginning to express and release them. So go and do that. Pause and go and do that if that feels good for you right now. Okay, and then come back. and continue with the swaying or the slow movement. And you're going to begin first to just kind of bring awareness to your body, to the space around you. So notice how your feet are feeling against the floor, or if you're laying down, how your back is feeling, or how, if you're sitting, like how you're feeling against the seat, and how your body is naturally kind of moving in its own way, or like telling you, kind of guiding you into what, and don't feel so pressured to like get it perfect or anything like that. Just allow your body to just guide you to what it needs to move or what feels comforting to move. And just notice the space around you, look around. So this practice that we're doing, it's called orienting. So looking around the space, letting your body know, like, this is a safe space for us. We know this space, there's no one behind us, like we're safe enough to connect with our feelings. And so coming back, bring up the stressor, bring up the thing that feels really heavy or feels insurmountable or feels like it's just something that you're dealing with right now. Just allow that to come in, allow the thoughts to come in, and notice how it feels in your body when you think about that specific thing. So for me, I'm thinking about the genocide that's going on in Palestine and how that feels so heavy in my chest, and like this desire to cry, like even behind my eyes, like tightness in my throat. And just allow yourself to do your best. Now, like, we've let the thoughts in, everything. Do your best to not focus so much on the thoughts now and focus more on the sensations that it brought up. So notice however it feels like in your body, and just spend some time there and say, I see you. As you keep moving, as you allow your body to keep moving, if you need, maybe you need some soft caresses. So we're constantly, especially around something that feels so helpless, like, how can we remind our body that we are taken care of, that we are loved, even through like really hard stuff? So you can caress your arms, even like soft touch in different areas of your body, and just allow the emotions to come up. Allow the anger, the frustration, the sadness, the helplessness, just allow it to come up and just give it space. If you need to cry, cry. Start it to let it bubble up. And now I invite you to do whatever feels good for you. Sometimes you're gonna need to move quicker. So you're gonna want to, this is where like it'd be helpful to have maybe some pillows or um, some rags to be able to punch into, just to give your body like that sensation that you're fighting back, that you are okay, and obviously keep it safe. Maybe you're gonna need to run in place. Maybe you're gonna need to shake it. But just start to move a little bit quicker as you think about like moving this energy that your body is giving you, the frustration, the anger, the helplessness, whatever it is. Just allow yourself to shake it. Allow yourself to feel like it's moving through you, like you're allowing the emotion to move instead of keeping it stuck within you. Feel free to pause here and give yourself as much time as you need. And you'll know when you're done, when you feel like in your body, you've moved all you needed to move. Like it feels like it's coming like heighten, you're moving, and then slowly you start slowing down. You start kind of, your breath starts slowing down. That's when you know that you're coming, like you've released something that felt like it needed to release. So go ahead and pause now, listen to your playlist, do whatever it is your body needs to do. Maybe you need to walk around the house, maybe doing some jumping jacks. I need shaking is so good for this. So just shaking can also be something. So connect with your body, pause here, and take your time to allow yourself to feel through and let the emotions move and release through you. Okay. So now as you're slowing down, again, side to side, try to move side to side or some slight caressing. And if it feels doable, giving yourself validation and care and love. I'm so proud of you for expressing that. I'm so proud of you for going there. I'm glad we were able to let some of that go. And don't get me wrong, this obviously may not necessarily solve a problem, but it allows you to create more capacity. It allows you, instead of feeling all these things and having them be so heavy, it still may be heavy, but you've made a little bit more room to go about your day, to do the actions you need to do, to invite love and care. Because whether it's building a business, whether it's fighting for liberation, whether it's, you know, healing intergenerational trauma, whatever you're working on, it is a marathon. It is something that there is going to be hard things that we're going to encounter. And giving ourselves these spaces to release, to feel, to move through them is so important, to then come back to it and keep going. Here I would suggest putting on a song you really, really like, that really suits you and like you really love. Putting on a song that you really love that feels very soothing. And notice like your breath softening and slowing down. Maybe your movement starts slowing down. Maybe it comes to a stop. And again, take your time, pause me if you need to. Really honor, I would say give yourself like an hour, ideally, to do this. I know that different circumstances can mean that we can't have as much time with ourselves to feel a lot of these things. And I encourage you to, if you can, create that time for yourself, create it. And if you can't, maybe even doing some parts of this, whether that's the swaying, whether it's that the caressing, whether it's the movement, whatever it is, just to acknowledge like what's going on and allowing the emotions to be witnessed and to be moved. Okay, so now you can pause and just notice like now as you allowed that emotion to move, like how your body is feeling. Is it feeling more grounded? Is it feeling more activated? If it is, I wonder if you could go back and do again some of that movement to see how that would feel, or connecting with loved ones, or even nature can be really helpful because sometimes, especially if we're not someone who expresses our emotions like that, it can feel very vulnerable to do that, even if you're by yourself. Um, your body can be communicating like, this is not something we do. Like, are we okay? Like, what is going on? And so connecting with something that is comforting can be very helpful for you. So whether that's, again, for me, it's like grounding in nature. So I'll go outside and put my feet on the ground. You can go hug, one of your loved ones or cuddle with them, with your pet. You can go be outside in nature and just sit with, take a walk. And something that one of my mentors taught me around nature is that nature is such a beautiful nature. One is our eldest ancestor, and two is that nature has everything it needs to compost and to replenish, like anything pretty much that they're obviously not man-made stuff, plastics and things, but to replenish anything that's coming in, especially there are indigenous, teachings around like burying things that no longer serve you, around praying, and just allowing, just kind of energetically, like the pain, the frustration, to let it be sent to the soil to be replenished, to have it bloom differently. There's so many ways to look at it. But if that feels something that you're called to do, like try it out. And just know that even though this is an exercise that you can do alone, holding the heaviness, holding like the hopelessness, holding like all the things that can be really hard, you are not meant to hold alone. That is meant to be held with others. And if that's something that feels difficult, like try it little by little, especially like if you're part, like in this case, in this mastermind, or if you're part of a group program or anywhere where like that is super welcome, please, please, please make use of that as you are holding the heaviness, even just to be witnessed. Okay. Feel free to rewatch this recording as many times as needed. And I wish you well. I wish you the ability to be with yourself, to build capacity, not just to do, but to be and to enjoy life. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me or to reach out.